Ex-cult members sometimes share their stories, and a thing they have in common is when they were in the cult, no matter how hard people in the outside tried to warn them, they just couldn't see it. They were so captured, so hypnotized by the cult, by the cult dynamics, by the cult promises. It was everything they knew. It is only when a traumatic experience that shakens their foundations and allows them to rebuild from the ashes that they realize they've been had. The cult was actually absorbing all of your time and energy. The cult was absorbing all of your attention and all of your resources from you for the benefit of the collective, for the benefit of the cult, and giving nothing in return. Something similar is happening with the mainstream. People are waking up around middle age and they realize they've been fooled by the system. They've been fooled by the cult. They realize that the best years of their life was spent at maintaining this cult, this entity. From early age, they started the indoctrination process. When they got into adults, they focused on their careers. And it's often the biological clock that wakes them up around 40, that they've been giving all their best years to the cult, to the regime, to the ideology. The system wants you to uh, to be middle class, for instance, because it's the middle class that pay taxes. They want you focused on being middle class. They don't want you to have a family. No matter how much money you win, it seems it's never enough. You start calculating, and it's never enough to pay for the expenses. And what about the time? Do you have time? You're so busy with your career. You're going to have to hire babysitters and schools and pay for schools, and you just don't have enough. Of course, you don't have enough. It's made on purpose that you don't have enough. The system wants everything that you have, all your attention, all of your energy, like a cult. They call it the middle age crisis for a reason. Yeah, that's when people realize they've been bamboozled to give the best years of their life to the system. What is the system? Well, it's a collective. Yeah, it's a collective. You've given the best you have for a collective, and you personally have nothing. There's this logical fallacy around that more education equals less children, and less education equals more children. They are trying to say that the so called education makes you intelligent and you're able to plan things. No, at all. Education has nothing to do with intelligence or wisdom. Indoctrination has nothing to do with intelligence or wisdom. People who are quote unquote educated are part of a cult and they just don't have time to think about anything else. Their energy and efforts is going to be to sustain the cult, the regime, not a family. So-called uneducated people It doesn't mean they are stupid or less intelligent. In fact, they are probably more wise. More wise and more into what? Love. Instead of, you know, this blind faith in the regime and its promises. Our ancestors had no money. Economy was small and insignificant, and still our ancestors was able to raise huge families. How is that possible? It seems nowadays the answer, they think, I'm going to work harder and get a better job. That way I'm going to be able to pay for a big family. No, that's not how it works. The more you put into the system, the more it'll take away from you. The more money you will gather, the more taxes you will pay. That's the purpose of inflation and taxes, is to keep you poor. But everybody is wishing, to win the lotto. Once in a blue moon, someone wins the lottery, and that is just another way of gaslighting people. People who make six figures, for instance, are a minority, and still everybody dreams that they are going to do six figures one day. So they struggle and fight until they arrive at the middle age. Oh, I finally have six figures as a salary. I can afford a big family, but your window of reproduction is gone. You should be thinking about becoming a grandfather, not a father, at the age of 40 something. Can you imagine raising children at the age of 40 something? You no longer have the energy that you had when you were young. When you're young, you can spend a few nights without sleeping taking care of the baby, but because you have a different stamina, you have a different metabolism. Try skip a few nights, when you're 40 or 50, and you'll see. Everything seems to be inverted and backwards because people are giving their energy and the best of their life, the years of their life, to a system, to a collective, to a cult. You don't need to have a big economy or have a big salary to raise a family. What are you talking about? All you need is a piece of land to have some greens, to have some chickens. You don't need anything else. Instead of wasting the best years of your life and spending all your energy and effort and attention in a system, focus on yourself, on your proximity, focus on your garden, focus on your house. Yes, focus on love instead of money. People nowadays are just focused on money. They think the answer for everything is money. It's not. You can throw all the money you have at problems, you won't fix them. It's only out of the pure free will of people that things can be fixed. Throwing money just gets things worse. You don't need a big economy. You don't need a big salary to raise a family. And people are used to buying everything already ready to consume. Everything is on a shelf, wrapped in plastic or paper, ready to take home. They think that's how things are. It's not. To maintain that lifestyle, indeed, you will need lots of money. But then you sacrifice something else. What? Your time, your energy, your attention. You will sacrifice family to have that money. And the more money you make, the more it will be taxed. So it's a rat race. You're like that lab rat, running in those um, wheels, like a rat on a wheel, chasing your own shadow. There's only a minority of people that make six figures. A minority. Anyway, practice self proximity, practice independence. You don't need a big piece of land, just a little small piece of land. Learn how to come up with your own compost. Anything vegetable, anything biodegradable, you can create compost so you can put in the earth. It's pretty simple. But people have lost that wisdom. They think money is required for everything. No, it's not. Our ancestors had no money at all, and still they were able to raise huge families. Money is not the main concern. What you need is love. It's pretty simple. Chickens eat anything. In exchange, they'll give you eggs. Eggs and vegetables, you are good to go. A nice source of minerals and protein, and you're good to go.